Hello guys, the DB Grind here, back at it again with another video, and this time I'm Sean Pittman with 1,257 rating versus Evil Mermails with 968 rating, so this is going to be another high rated DB video, but also I was told that this started off as a rated match. They met up and then said, let's play for money, so they are playing for $20 here. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to see Evil Mermails win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And then they will decide to go first. 42 versus 40. Opening hands, we have Red, Jet, Nib, Prosperity, Starter. They have Instant Fusion, Snow, Hafinus, Deer Note, and Planet. So we're going to see Tearlament, Punk going up against the Spright deck. Also, the back check that I had used in the deck profile, that card went from a little under $2. Now it's at $10. That's crazy. Yeah, it's just funny though. I that card, explaining that card to people. A lot of people didn't really understand it until you start actually testing it. It was funny. I gotta bring this up. This morning I woke up late today, so I probably woke up at 10:30 a.m. And I woke up and I have messages, and the one was from Elijah Green, and he goes, "Bro, why would you ever send backcheck? You could just send a Tearlament to Fusion. I don't get the point." And then it was probably 30 minutes later, he messages me and goes, "Just had it resolved against me. I understand now." It's just funny. It's one of those cards that you might think it's really bad, but then you start theorizing it more and thinking into it, and it's oh, it's pretty good. Summon out Kit effect to go search, and then that will go ahead and grab Rhino Heart, and then Kit get rid of itself to summon out the Rhino Heart. Yeah, okay, so we're just not going for purple cards. I don't know, the Tearlament purple cards are really good. I think people are sleeping on them. One Tearlament purple card gets you multiple interruptions. So I think it's worth playing. But we're going to go ahead and dump. We have access to every Tearlament effect here if we want it. We're going to use Shaylin 1, Hafinus 2. Yeah, we don't want to use all three of the fusion effects because, we don't want to have to fusion a third time. We only need to fusion twice here. We can bring out a Dragos Tapalia and then put back the Shaylin, the Miru, and then summon Kit. Activate the field spell. Field spell, go search, go grab Shaylin, and then activate the Shaylin effect. So get rid of Snow, summon out, mill. Okay, so we're going to see more of the Punk cards there. We're going to see Ronin Toad, Swap Frog. You're going to start seeing this in more and more people's deck lists because you can just play 2 Swap Frog, 1 Ronin Toad in anything because you can get to it through Gigantic. I don't think it's good. I definitely have tested this deck out. I've tried so many different versions of Tearlament. This deck's very fun. The mills, he goes, oh. Overlay, summon Redoer. So if this was the plan, I think they messed up right now. Because they shouldn't have used Shaylin 1, Hafinus 2. It should have been Miru 1, Hafinus 2. 42 at main, right? So you're not peeping right now? Leak the goo after? Sheesh. So I got you. I'm slow, so bear with me right now. Said you literally always are. Banish, summon back out Ronin Totem, and then we're going to go ahead and go into the Elf. Elf effect to summon back out the Ronin Totem from the graveyard. Then afterwards, we will pass. So end of main, activate Nib. This is the reason why they should have used Miru and not Shaylin, because now if we chain Redoer effect, we don't play through Nib as well, because we can't use the Shaylin effect to fusion, which would have actually been very big, because we would have been able to summon Kaleido. We could have done a couple different things there. We could summon Kaleido. Kaleido can out Nib. You can pop Kaleido, dump the Salic effect, search for follow-ups. That way we have hand trap plus follow-up, Rhino on board, out of their guy. You could also go for Drago, so that way you have more of a guaranteed interruption. But we're just going to redo her here. So that way, it comes back and stuff. Then drop Nib, pass over token. Don't think they have anything to play through this. No. All they have is snow. What they can do. Pass over. And then, you know, end phase, redoer comes back. Draw Ash. Everyone always thinks this comes back during the standby phase. It literally comes back during end phase. It attaches during standby. Uses the effect to re-equip. And then activate Prosperity. Prosperity go banish. So we're going to banish 6. And look at the top 6. So Nib, Veiler, Dupe Frog, Diva, Swap Frog, DD Crow, grabs back Diva, put back the rest. So we have a very strong hand here. We were able to hand trap our opponent once. Pretty much stopped them. And now we got Diva, plus Spright and Starter. Also, I'm hungry. I cannot wait to eat after this. My stomach is really growling. Summon Diva, Diva effect, Chain Link 1, Hafinish Chain Link 2, Ash Chain Link 3. Our opponent is now left with no more interruptions besides Snow. Then Special Summon out Red, Special Summon out Jet, Jet effect to go Search, Jet go ahead and grab Smashers. Up next, we're going to Link off and the Hulk. Hulk effect to summon from deck. Okay. Hulk bring out Ash Blossom because we're going to try to end up Swap Frog, adding that back. Activate Starter. Starter goes summon. Summon Blue, lose life points. Blue effect to search. And then blue is going to go search Carrot. We can overlay and then make Gigantic. If they snow, we have red. So we can negate its on-field effect. We don't want to negate the graveyard effect because they could use it again. So we let the graveyard effect go through. They summon out. Then they activate the effect. We're going to chain red to negate, not destroying. And then activate the Gigantic effect. So it resolves, detach, bring out Swap Frog. Swap Frog effect to dump. The opponent admits defeat. Going on to the next game now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to see the Tearlament deck go first. Opening hands, we have Diva, Prosperity, Smasher, Swap Frog evenly. They have Hafinish, Called by Veiler, Ogre, and Field Spell. So they're going to go ahead, activate the Ogre Dance effect, discard itself, go search. And it's a pretty strong hand. You know, we have Punk going. We have the Field Spell to go search Shaylin. We have Hafinish in hand. We have Called by. It's like this deck, I feel like it is like very good at going first. Going second without as many going second cards might be tough. Go search Foxy, Field Spell, go search, and then Field Spell, go grab Shaylin. Then we're gonna go Shaylin effect. So that's gonna get rid of Hafina, summon, mill 3. So we mill Mayonnaise there. We also mill Deck Devi, so we do play Deck Devi. Then we're going to activate Trap, Chainlink 1, Hafinish, Chainlink 2. I guess like playing around Bell somewhere. Like if this gets Belled, then we still get to add it back. If it gets Crowed, then like it is what it is. It's not going to mill another one of those. Probably only plays one anyways. Summon, effect. So that resolves. Go search or dump. We're going to grab Miru. And then after that, you said you there, G? You just made this deck, to be honest. So we're going to go Foxy Tune effect. Foxy Tune, getting rid of itself and Miru. Bring out Deer. No, we're not going to Miru effect. We just wanted it engraved so we can get rid of itself and summon back out the Miru from graveyard. So it's like a free discard off the Foxy. And then we're going to get the effects. So go mill 8. It's the Shaylin, Miru, Plague. They're going to go Shaylin and Miru. The only one that we've used prior to this was the Hafinish. So put back, bring out Dragostapelia, put back Ogre, put back Miru, bring out Mud Dragon, and then we're going to go for Pepega Ruler. Pepega Ruler 1, Deer Note 2, summon back out Z Almond, mill 5. We mill Hafinish is there. Veiler, grab back Hafinish. The cool thing about like the tier elements in this deck too is like you get to have Miru up after like doing the mill 8 plays. So that can definitely come up later on. We're gonna go Hulk. Hulk effect to summon, bring out Ogre, and then overlay, make a Gigantic. Like this is about to be a really, really insane end board. Now we can put Pegaruler Plague before going into Fluor. Yep, Plague put back, summon. Said think there, they went Sigh. Nah. Go for Fluor, Gigantic effect, attach, bring out Swap Frog effect, dump Swap Frog effect, grab back Ogre, and then turn those into Elf. Summon back out Swap with Elf effect, dump Ronin Totem, banishing the Swap for Ronin Totem. And then overlay, go for Toad. We could have also used this effect, Mud Dragon, if we wanted to change it to attribute that turn, to try to help us out through hand traps if there ended up being any. But like I said, this is going to be a really good end board. We have Haffinus in hand, we have Ogre, we have Veiler. That's 2 guaranteed interruptions, 3rd possibly. And then if Haffinus mills a Tearlament, that's multiple interruptions. We get a Fusion, we get the Pop, we also have Fluor, Drago, Toad, Elf. So it's pretty good. Draw red, activate Prosperity go banish. It's going to banish 6, and then they're going to Toad negate and set that. Don't want to give a Dark Ruler. Toad put back Hulk. I thought I was doing that with the Punk deck, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. That was my first time seeing that interaction. I was like, oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. Going on into game 3 now, we're going to see the Spright deck decide to go first. Opening hands, we have Diva, Called by Dupe, Blue, a Pointer. They have Miru, Etelli, Ronin Totem, and Ash, Rhino Heart. So they only have 1 low impact hand trap going second. That's going to make it very hard. I don't like the low impacts right now, because the low impacts are only good if you draw multiple of them. And the only way to draw multiple of them is to play a lot of them. And a deck like Tearlament can't play too many going second cards. It can actually play a lot, though. I don't know. People, I think, underestimate that. Summon Blue effect, Chain Ash. I also don't think people are used to counting Haffinus as a hand trap, because Haffinus realistically is a hand trap. If you're playing 40 cards and you play max Tearlament monsters, not counting the trap cards, because the trap cards do not technically create interruptions off of Haffinus, but you have a roughly 55% chance if you open Haffinus and no other Tearlament. If you open Haffinus and 1 other Tearlament, that makes it that way you can also mill Rhino, is what I'm saying. And then if you have that, then you go from 8 mills to 10 mills, which puts you up to close to, I think, 65 or 66% chance. Also, Salic is a card that you can draw when you mill Rhino, and then that will still increase your chances, because instead of drawing one of the monsters, so then you have the 11 in deck. There's multiple things. Haffinus isn't a hand trap all the time though, which is its problem. Blue goes search Jet, special summon Jet, Jet goes search, and then Jet will go ahead and grab starter, activate starter, bring out the red, lose 1,200 life points. Overlay, go for Gigantic, and then Gigantic effect, detach, and go summon. So bring out Swap, then Swap effect, dump Swap effect, bounce back Jet. I see a lot of people don't do this, but if you're going to have extra bodies anyways, you may as well start bouncing back some of your monsters for some follow-up. Elf, summon back out Swap, and then we're going to get Swap effect to go dump, because we're still going to have something on field for red. Because we have Toad to summon, we have a Pointer, we have follow-up, we have red, we have Elf, they draw Foxy, and then activate a Pointer, pay 2,000, reveal the hand to peep yours. They could chain Etelli. They are going to go ahead and chain Etelli. And then in response, they're going to let that go through. Etelli's fine. Summon out your Xiamen. Let's beep the goo. Ronin Totem, Miru, Rhino Heart, Foxy. So they're going to go hit back Foxy. Let's think this through, because these 3 are all normal summons. So all 3 of these lose to a Toad. This also loses to Toad. We have 2 Toad. Okay, and that's all. So put those back, then standby phase, Toad effect, attach, go summon Suave. It's crazy, because whenever you have a Pointer like that, you either win or you're oh man, this is gonna be weird. Toad effect add back on res, Elf, Elf, summon out Toad. Could say like they could have went Z Almond effect, but then they just Toad negate in response. Elf, bring out Toad. Still 2 Toads. Z Almond, pay 6, chain Toad, and then they admit defeat, so they're gonna lose the $20 there. Alright, fair enough. Seeing how long that match was, it was about 39 minutes long. I think that was a pretty good match, just because like, you know, we got to see this. Like, this is just fun to watch. I like it. It's a mill deck with like synchro stuff in it, combo, fusion monsters, good end boards. But yeah, I don't know. Like, not playing hand traps feels really bad. As somebody that played an entire regional without them, like, you gotta understand, like, no hand traps feels horrible, because your opponent just combos and you're just sitting there. You're like, yep, yeah, that's happening. Cool. Oh, you got that too? Ah, fair enough. But I think field breakers are probably the way to go with this deck in the current format standards. Again, I always bring up current format standards, and people don't even know what I mean by that, but like format standards would be like, okay, there's a lot of big combo decks. They're not playing around Duel, so now everyone's going to start playing Duel. Now that everyone's playing Duel, you're going to play around Duel. Duel's no longer good. Now that everybody has started to play around Duel, and it's not popular again, you can start playing into it, because not a lot of people are going to be on it. So like, you start getting that, but with other things, right? So like right now, Scythe is not popular. Will it continue to be that way? I don't know. Format standards very well could change, you know? I mean, there was decks in the past I didn't think that were that good, but they were like the most popular deck at Nats I didn't think was a good deck. That deck was like, you know, obviously the most popular deck. But format standards do end up changing a lot on how you can end up actually building your stuff when you're going second cards, and does your deck work with those going second cards? Like, if hand traps were absolutely mandatory, like, you would have to change your Tearlament deck, because then you have to play more hand traps, because you're playing less high impact cards and more low impact cards, so you need to start matching them together more often. But with all that being said, the DB Grinders signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.